Guile and I and a few others of us went to the National Folk Festival this year, and Guile, who of course couldn't sing 12 months ago, spent 3 days with the festival choir. Those people attending the National Folk Festival, if they choose to, can spend quite a few hours each day of the 3 days of the choir rehearsing to do a performance on the last night of the National Folk Festival. And there was about 200 singers that chose to do that, and that was the song that they came into the big pavilion at the end of the beginning of that last concert, and so we just had to do it too. And thank you for your contribution. Wonderful. Where's my whistle? Okay, well this is the other one that, fairly tricky one that Barbara brought along. Not quite as bad as the other one, but still tricky, but it's a good fun one. Please do sing along and cover up all our mistakes. A little bit of access here. From the Threads. While they're coming out here, just to explain what that's all about. A number of the singers in Loosely Woven at the moment originally came along because they were part of a local a cappella group called the Sarongs, and some of them still are. And when sometimes that group wanted to do a little thing on their own, Nikki, I think, came up with a really clever name. We'll call them the Loincloths, which is sort of part of the, part of the Sarongs, but they didn't like that. See, I just got an old Wayne from them. I just don't understand it. So they've come up with their own thing. Instead of, it's not the whole Loosely Woven, it's just the Threads.
This song is another one from Renaissance times, and this time the words are French. It's a love song in which a young man says quite a lot of nice things about his lady love. I'll just tell you some of the things that he says. Like, good day, my sweet life. Good day, apple of my eye. Good day, my dearest friend. Good day, my beautiful in every way. Well, he is French, after all. And my delightful one, and so on. So, bonjour, mon cœur.
Bonjour, mon cœur. Bonjour, ma douce vie. Bonjour, ma toute belle, ma migna disait bonjour, mes délices et mon amour. Mon doux printemps, ma douce nouvelle, mon doux plaisir, ma douce colombelle, mon passero, ma joie toute belle. Bonjour, ma douce rebelle. Bonjour, ma douce rebelle.
Cegaba la Niña is young girl reaping. This is from the Castilla-La Mancha region of in the middle of Spain, and it has the traditional folk song plot where the girl's reaping in the fields and she thinks the boyfriend doesn't love her because she's bereft of cattle.
Now, our last song is a Zulu folk song, and the words are quite simple. Translated, it says, "I've got a lovely lady in Tequeen." Could we have a yes? Middle C and an F, please. Got it. Ready?
Si pongono, sa se de quindi, 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 si si polano song, Saturday Queen, dine si polano song, Saturday Queen, la 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 Saturday Queen, oh no no, Saturday Queen, dinesi polano song, Saturday Queen, dinesi polano song, Saturday Queen, dinesi polano no, Saturday Queen, dinesi polano no, Saturday Queen, dinesi polano song, Saturday Queen, dinesi polano song, Saturday Queen.
Back a bit. With the hat comes a metamorphosis. I've looked back at my family history and my family tree because I wondered why I had this very strange sense of humour. And it turns out that our family came from a very poor part of England called Northumberland. And in particular, we came from Newcastle on Tyne. And so I got sort of started digging, listening to all the old comedians and the dialect, and the people from the north say, no, that's not English, and even the people from the south say it's not right, and then even the people from the north think I'm not right, but I've got a hunch from listening to tapes I'm not too far away. And this is a song for which I'm going to ask my friend James Johnson to come forward and help me with. This is a song, good on you girl, this is a song about a working man in a very, very poor place. You know, their big deal was a sixpence a week at the co-op, and they'd have a Christmas holiday in the charabanc. But this man, he says, I'm going to buy some clothes for my kids. His wife is a bit plump and she doesn't walk very quickly. And I'll let the words actually speak for themselves. And it's called, oh no, I've got to teach you a chorus. There's a chorus, it says, Wanan, James, give me a, and it's printed there, Wanani is a mazer, and a mazer she'll remain, and as long as I live I'll never forget the day we lost the train. Well, there's some musicians here I know, so they can carry. Well, here we go. Give me a little diddly-diddly. When Annie and me made up our minds to gan and catch the train, to gan to the turn to buy some clothes for war little Billy and Jane. But when we got to Rolandskill, the morning train was gone, and there wasn't another one going that way till 17 minutes to 1. So I says to her nan, it's a long way to gan, and I see by her face she was vexed. But I says, never mind, we'll have plenty of time, we'll stop and get on with the next. She gave a bit smile and spoke up and says, there's a public house along here. We'll go along there and get ourselves warm and a glass of the best bit of beer. But Nan was just stout, I knew she'd not work, and she didn't seem willing to try. When I think of the trouble I'd have her that day, I'd like to burst out and cry. Now, and when it's a mazer and a mazer she'll remain, as long as I live I won't forget the day we lost the train. We went to the public house. When we got to the door, she says, well, into the parlour in, for I've never been there before. So in we went and took our seats, and afore I rang the bell, I asked her what she was going to have, and she says, the same as yourself. So I called for 2 gills of the best bit of beer. She paid for them when they come in, and afore she'd swallowed a half, or she said, I would rather have gin. So I called for a glass of the best Hollands gin. She swallowed it doing the first try. I says to her nan, that's as good as a man. She says, Bob, Man, I feel very dry. Incidentally, a mazer is an amazing woman. So off we go. One Annie is a mazer, and a mazer she'll remain. As long as I live, I won't forget the day we lost the train. Drama. She sat and drank till she got tight. She says, Bob, man, I feel very queer. I says, there's had 9 glasses of gin to my 2 gills of beer. She lost her hat and then her shawl and hoyed them on the floor. I thought when Anne was going wrong of her mind, so I set myself down near the door. She says, give us order, I'll sing a bit sung. I sat and I glowed at her. I thought she was joking, for I never heard one nanny sing any song before. She tried to stand up to sing the cat pie, but she fell down and made such a clatter. She smashed 4 chairs and the landlord came in and he says, what the deuce is the matter? He says to me, is this your wife and where do ye belong? I says it is, and she's ta'en a fit with trying to sing a bit sung. He locked his arms around her waist and trailed her over the floor, and poor old Nan, like a dirty hoose cat, was hied outside of the door. And there she was lying, both groaning and crying. To claim her I really felt shame. I tried to lift her, but I couldn't shift her, and I'd wished I'd Nanny at home. The paperman said he would give her a lift if we hoisted her into the trap. But Nan was that tight that she couldn't sit up, so he fastened her down with a strap. She couldn't sit up and she wouldn't lie down, and she kicked till she broke the conveyance. She lost a new basket, her hat and her shawl, that woman with losing the train. Now, one Nanny's a mazer, and a mazer she'll remain. As long as I live, I'll never forget. And once more, the day we lost the train. One Nanny is a mazer, and a mazer she'll remain. As long as I live, I wouldn't forget the day we lost the train.
Not where the barbarians live, obviously, because I can't do the accent like he does it. And I went to a little village school, and like all village children in those days, you learn the traditional songs and dances. Decades later, I find myself in Australia, the radio's on, and I hear this song, and I'm instantly transported back to the 1950s in this tiny little classroom. I rush out, I buy the CD, bring it to the planning meeting, present it to Wayne, and he goes, humph, humph, flips it over and says, I'll see if Jill can do something with it. Well, Jill did.
This story's getting told.
It's true. Jill did, and Jill's had the very difficult task of converting us back into sweet little children. The best of it is that it's only the girls and Wayne, and Jill pulls rank over Wayne the entire time. She ticks him off, and he scowls into his beard, and we absolutely love it. Anyway. True. This simple little song is called Ferry Me Across the Water. It's just the girls, Wayne on the harp, and Jill's going to conduct it.
You're all right, Wayne.
Oh, shut up.
Ferry me across the water, do, boatman, do. If you've a penny in your purse, I'll ferry you.
couple of Finnish waltzes that at last year's National Folk Festival there was a Finnish group, 7 gorgeous blonde fiddlers and an accordionist, and they did that and it was fabulous, and that's what Annalie wanted it. Right, we come now to the other Trevor Swaddling song, and it's a beauty, Little Bit of Your Love. And you've got the words in here too, please, bottom of that page, so do join in, please.
And there's a chorus in this that rolls around through the song, so please join in with us.
I would die for a little bit of your love. I will try for a little bit of your love. Longing for that connection, longing to lock it in tight, longing for that feeling of us moving as one. I would die for a little bit of your love. I would cry for a little bit of your love. I would try for a little bit of your love. Take the tanks and guns, throw 'em in the sea. Pave the roads with gold, line 'em with trees. Cut down the hatred and burn the lies and greed. I would die for a little bit of your love. I would cry for a little bit of your love. I would try for a little bit of your love. The world is way too big,
This is something a bit different. I mean, the wonderful thing, way loosely woven concerts work is that we call up a planning meeting, everybody comes to my place and people bring along the things they'd like to do. So we could go through the whole program and say, well, that's what Judy suggested, that's what Barbara suggested. And that way we get, and basically anything goes, If you're worried about it, you don't show the rest until the performance, like I did with my song. But anyway. But it's great because it just twists loosely woven off into all sorts of different directions. And this is an example of this. The rest of us have never done anything like this before, this Jewish dance set we're going to do. But James certainly has, and he brought it along and he arranged it, and it is just absolutely fabulous. And if you can stay in your seats and not dance in this one, there's something wrong with you. All right. You put it up. So, that won't be the last time we do some Yiddish tunes. But I tell you what, I'm glad I was just doing vamping. You didn't have to try and play that on the concertina, I tell you. You want to vamp next time, I suppose. Right, now we come to it. This is one of the most beautiful things that Loosely Woven has ever done. Absolutely magnificent. Song of the songs that Murray, what's your name? Kevin said me to choose from. This just jumped out at me. I said, yes, we've got to do it. And both Kevin and I, Kevin who'd heard Judy singing in Loosely Woven concerts before, and I immediately thought, yes, and Judy has to sing it. And we were right. Magnificent. Leaving You.
Leaving you while loving you, it's so unfair. All I want, all I need is you. Loving you while leaving you, it's gone too far. All that I want, all that I need, all that I crave for is you. Leaving you while loving you, dear God, it hurts. All that I want is you. All that I need is you. All that I crave for will soon be no more. Leaving you while loving you, dear God, it hurts. All that I want is you. All that I need is you. All that I crave for will soon be no more. Soon be no more.
Never know who deserves the most applause for that one, Kev for writing it or Judy for singing it, but what a magnificent combination. This will not be the last time you'll hear us doing Kevin Murray compositions, I promise you. Well, that just about brings us to the end of this Rumbling Sound concert. I'm not quite sure when the next concert's going to be. There's nothing particularly planned. We tend to do 3 or 4 concerts a year. We'll certainly be doing a Christmas one. But we'll certainly be doing something in between then as well. If you're not already on the Loosely Woven email list, it tells you at the end of the program how to get on it. If you can't follow that, come and see me. If you're not on email, but would like to be sent, leaflets when we're doing something, please come and see me and give me your address. If you would like to be part of one of these concerts, then certainly welcome to, and there's people sitting on the stage who started in the audience and came up. In fact, I know that there's 2 people sitting in the audience today who've come along for the first time who are seriously thinking about coming and playing with us, a fiddler and a flautist. So hopefully we'll see them there. So please feel free to come and talk to me about that too, because we'd love you. I mean, the more the merrier. And we have a lot of fun. It's a lot of work. It is a lot of work, but it's also a lot of fun, and we really enjoy it, and other people seem to too. Anyway, just very quickly, I want to go through to introduce you to the people we got. At the very end there, very rudely having a conversation with Barbara, we have Kate Freyberg, one of our sopranos. Kate. She often sort of popples off to the other side of the world, of course, lives for a few months and we can't see her, but I'm glad she was here for this concert. And next to her, someone that doesn't need much introduction around here, of course, is Barbara Braithwaite. Those who've been to earlier Loosely Woven concerts might remember when it used to be so-and-so concert with Loosely Woven and the St David Singers. Back in those days we had 7 or 8 of them at least, but they're gradually sort of not quite so many, but we still have Peter and Barbara, and it's lovely having them here. Next to her we have somebody who for the very, very first time in a Loosely Woven concert, Pam, the soprano. Thank you, Pam. She came along to the planning meeting with a group of women, but they all kind of, chickened out or changed their mind. Well, one of them turned out we recognised each other, and I was her teacher when she was 10 or something, so that might have been the problem, I don't know. But Pam hung around, and I'm really glad that she did, and maybe she talked. Any of the others here today? Did they need to? Where Where? Oh, right, Kai, what? So either we've convinced her that she should, or convinced her that she made the right decision. Anyway, we'll see. Next to her we have, you better stand up in the chair. Oh, right. We have little Pat. Pat used to always come in the audience and get up and dance and things like that, but because she was convinced she couldn't sing, but as I've told you in previous concerts, and you can see for yourself now, we've proved that that's a whole pile of hogwash. And of course Pat can sing. She's worked very hard at it, mind you, but she's now singing and can read music and can read the harmonies, the whole bit. It's wonderful. Next to her, also sort of for the first, I said actually last night for the very first time, but it wasn't quite true. We revived Fogs Is the Problem a little early in the year, the concert with Dennis Kevins and Sonia Bennett, and Glenys came along and actually sang in that. But this is our first new concert anyway, that she's done here, and the first concert here, certainly, that she's performed. Glenys is, hang on, I haven't finished about her yet. This is interesting, because not only is she the wife of our wonderful, talented new composer here, Kevin Murray, but she also is somebody who's actually got a really beautiful voice, and yet, nevertheless, did not have the confidence to sing in public, and had never really much ever sung in public. And she's sort of gathered up the courage and has come along and has worked incredibly hard as well, and is doing a magnificent job. She's got a glorious voice. If you clap really loud at the end of the concert and yell out more, we have got a little encore perhaps prepared. And if you do that, you'll get to hear her sing a bit on her own, and it's lovely. Glenys Murray. I have to say too that Glenys and Kevin have not only really enthusiastic about being in and doing it, but they really sort of help in every way they can, and just do lots of extra things as well. Wonderful. Next to her is somebody that would normally be sitting down there with a camera in front of her face, but I can't really make too much of a thing about it now, because actually a third concert where she's emerged from the depths of the waters and come up onto the land. to perform. And again, someone who's never considered herself being able to sing and has proved that she's very much can, and like Pat has learnt a whole lot, learned how to read music and sing harmonies, and has helped make our alto section quite some formidable section indeed. And can also dance, as you can see. My partner, Guile. And of course she still helps with all sorts of other things in that as well. Next to her we have John Kibbe, who's been singing with us for ages now. He's a really wonderful, reliable tenor, and really sort of our only tenor. So I hope he doesn't don't go talking to her just in case she convinces you shouldn't be there. I don't know which way she's gone, you see, just in case. Because you've got to stay there, John. We really need you. And the lovely percussion and things as well. John Kibbe. Speaking of stalwarts and wonderful people to have around, beautiful deep bass voice, and again, really helpful, cooperative, and just a lovely man, Peter Tebbett. The other remaining member of St David's Singers. Next to him, of course, the wonderful John McRae, who's a recorder player and singing, organising all that. What else? Next to her, we have, in different sort of clothes, even performance actually, our fairy fiddler, who in some concerts has actually sung and danced, but in this one she's just restricted herself to looking fantastic and playing beautifully on the fiddle. Our fairy fiddler, Annalie. And also looking gorgeous and playing the fiddle, and somewhat silly song. I think you sport there, Brad. That's a good choice. Did. Following their beautiful songs of your song was just very tasteless, Bob. Anyway, Bob Foggett. And next to Bob, you better stand up, you probably don't even know you're here. James Johnson on accordion. James makes. I can move on. Yeah. Over here, we have, of course, gorgeous soprano, Moni. Don't make too big a thing about today, because yesterday we had to make a big thing of it, because she performed 2 concerts on her birthday, which was yesterday. But it's not her birthday anymore, so we don't. And next to her, what can you say about Judy Eddington? She only did 3 songs. She's a very busy woman, is our Judy, in storytelling and all sorts of stuff. And you only did those 3 things, but wow, boy, what a thing, what stuff. Next to her, Rima, who's not only wonderful alto in the choir and as a soloist, but also is really plays a very big part in holding it all together, because she virtually sight reads harmonies. And in this concert, she's been jumping backwards and forwards between the sopranos and altos, depending on who needed the help most. What would we do without you, Rima? Some of you might recall a couple of years ago we did an Australian concert called Common Ground with Phil Lobel, and it was absolutely packed out here. It was a big concert in every sense of the word. But one of the people, there's a few people that came in. It was a very much augmented Lucy Woven. I remember Murray had the stage going right out to there, and I was sitting out there somewhere. But one of the people that came in just for that performance was Jill Stupington. At the time she was still working and couldn't keep on doing other concerts. She made a tremendous contribution there, but our good fortune and University of New South Wales misfortune, I guess, is that she has now retired, a little bit more time on the sleeves, and she came along and been part of this concert, even though she lives way over in Maroubra. And it has made a huge difference. Not only, of course, is she a wonderful alto and plays the concertina, but she arranged those pieces, and all those difficult ones, she trained us and coached us through those, which, they were pretty good tonight, this afternoon, but very largely thanks to Jill. Wonderful. Jill. And despite rumours to the contrary, Jill and I have known each other for more years than we like, 20 years or something, and we get on really well, and I really hope that Jill can be part of it.
Oh, it's not very well now.
Oh, shut up. Okay. Next to Jill, we have Kathleen Swaddling, who introduced that lovely Tom Paxton song and has been playing other things. And of course, one of our two composers of the evening of Rumbling Sound and the Little Bit of Your Love. We've heard his songs before, we'll hear lots more of them again, I hope. Trevor Swaddling. And also someone we'll be hearing from, or at least we'll be hearing his songs, but notice that he reckons he couldn't sing because he's got problems with his throat and things, but I'm not so convinced about that, but we'll see. But we found a spot for him because we didn't really have anyone to do drums and things, so for the first time ever, he's been playing drums in this concert and doing a great job, but of course mostly writing those beautiful songs and the music. Kevin Murray. Those who don't know me, I'm Wayne Richmond. That's my mother will be having a 90th birthday in August. No, I haven't. I just haven't got to it. You interrupted me. Yes, of course. Lena, not again, it's the first time she's performed. Lena Simpkins in the part. And someone who I did forget, and I did forget the night, so it's not altogether my fault because nobody told me that she was going to actually get up and be part of the Threads, even though she wasn't in the rest of the concert. So naturally I keep forgetting. Her name wasn't on the program, but she certainly was there, and that was Marita McRae. And I'd like to also thank Goody for mixing this recording that we're doing today. Goody, and Sharon, this is going to be interesting. How are you going to turn the camera on yourself? Sharon, for video. And of course, St David's Church for this absolutely wonderful venue and for helping with the refreshments and things. But it is a magnificent place to put on concerts. So thank you very much, St David's Church, and please do your best to show your thanks with some donations. You spoke about that before, didn't you, Paul? To give a donation as you go out. These concerts are always free, but there's plenty of good causes that need your money. So if you can give some money, is there someone on the door? There's something somewhere there, yeah. Please show your thanks. But let's give a round of applause to St David's Church. Right, well, we're going to finish with a good rousing, another spiritual that Jill brought along. Oh, look, this is quite funny. We had talked about doing down by the riverside, but it just sort of didn't quite work. And at the last minute, just a couple of weeks ago, I got a phone call. Jill doesn't know this yet. I was on my way home with Guy in the car, and I just got out of the car and I'd gone into the chemist to get a prescription. And I'd just gone up to the counter. We just walked into the chemist, going up to the counter, when my phone rang, and I saw it was Jill. Normally I probably would have ignored her on the situation, but I thought it was Jill. And I just got to the counter and was about to talk about the prescription to this woman, thinking I'd just quickly get rid of who it was. And Jill was on the other end, and she was real excited. I've got something for the Phil to finish the conference with. And before I had a chance to sort of say anything to her, she was off singing it right through. She sang the whole lot from beginning to end, all the top parts, bottom parts. And I'm sort of standing there, and the woman at the counter standing there. I just didn't have the heart to stop her because she was sounding great. It'll sound even better tonight, especially if you sing along. So please give it everything you've got. This recording will just sound so much better with you on it.
Oh, let us sing.
could we do? Actually, you're probably going to regret this because that was a real uplifting one. This is a little bit morbid, really, but anyway, it's beautiful.
Fading away like the stars in the morning, losing the light in the glorious sun. Thus would we pass from the earth and its toiling, only remembered for what we have done. Only remembered, only remembered, only remembered for what we have done. Thus would we pass from this earth and its toiling, only remembered for what we have done.
Only the truth that in life we have spoken, only the seed that on earth we have sown, these shall pass onwards when we are forgotten, only remembered for what we have done. Only remembered, only remembered, only remembered for what we have done. These shall pass onwards when we are forgotten, only remembered for what we have done. Shall we
loving you while leaving you. It's gone too far. All that I want, all that I need, all that I crave for is you. Leaving you while loving you, dear God, it hurts. All that I want is you. All that I need is you. All that I crave for will soon be no more. Leaving you while loving you, dear God, it hurts. All that I want is you. All that I need is you. All that I crave for will soon be no more.